There is a full-blown political battle underway between the centre and the opposition-ruled states over the new UGC draft. And the showdown was triggered after a resolution was passed by 6 non-BJP states at a conclave in Bengaluru yesterday. The states primarily governed by regional parties and the Congress passed a resolution rejecting the new guidelines, arguing that they encroach upon state autonomy in education policy. And let's in fact take you through the resolution, what it comprises of. To begin with, the opposition states are calling for withdrawal of provisions allowing the appointment of non-academic vice chancellors in universities. So the big question is this the centre trying to undermine the authority of the states, or is this an education reform? Let's take you through the highlights as far as the resolution is concerned. This is the demands of the non-BJP ruled 6 opposition ruled states. Withdraw provisions for non-academic vice chancellors. This is point number 1. Then the resolution also demands reconsider provisions for assistant professors. And there are other demands as well. It says remove entrance exams for undergraduate studies, must collaborate with the state governments on the new norms. Many in the opposition also alleging this is nothing but the centre trying to impose one tradition, one history and one language. But the state that are ruled by the opposition are objecting. They've passed a resolution asking the government to withdraw this. Let's now take you through the reactions that we are getting. Today in the national capital, Congress, Samajwadi Party and DMK staged a massive protest at Jantar Mantar. While staging the protest, Rahul Gandhi called the new education policy an RSS agenda, accusing the government of pushing an ideological narrative through education reforms. On the other hand, Akhilesh Yadav claimed it was a conspiracy to hand over the universities to industrialists, highlighting concerns about the privatization and commercialization of higher education.
Aim of the RSS is the eradication of all other histories, all other cultures, all other traditions in this country. And this attempt that they're doing with the education system of the different states, this is just another attempt to push their agenda. And I'm very happy that you have come here to do this protest, and I wish that multiple protests like this happen, because the RSS needs to be made to understand that they cannot attack the constitution, they cannot attack our states, they cannot attack our cultures, our traditions and our histories.
समाजवादी पार्टी, उसके विधायक, उसके सांसद इस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के खिलाफ जो आप यहाँ पर आंदोलन करने आए हैं, हम आपका समर्थन देते हैं, हम आपकी मदद के लिए यहाँ खड़े हुए हैं। मुझे लगता है कि जो नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई है, ये कहीं न कहीं उद्योगपतियों के सामने और उद्योगपतियों को यूनिवर्सिटी देने की साजिश चल रही है। They want to take over all the power of state governments. They want to make politics and politicians servant of industrialists. We can never agree on that. We can never support new education policy.
छात्र विरोधी है, विश्वविद्यालय विरोधी है, ऑटोनॉमी विरोधी है और फेडरलिज्म विरोधी है। आखिर सरकार और यूजीसी में कैसे लोग बैठे हुए हैं, उनका वैश्विक दर्शन क्या है, ये चिंता का विषय है। विश्वविद्यालय का मतलब होता है कि आप नैरो सेक्टेरियन अप्रोच से ऊपर ले जाएं, ये तो और आप गर्त में ले जा रहे हैं। इसलिए आप देखेंगे कि तमाम सांसद लोग यहाँ आकर के अपना प्रतिरोध दर्ज कर रहे हैं और हमने सदन के अंदर भी ये बात रखी है।
They are taking the provision section 26 of the UGC Act. They are issuing regulations, pronouncing regulations and giving directions, so that guidelines are even the appointment of vice chancellors. It is the authority of the UGC. They are giving the guidelines so that the central government will be having a role in the appointment of the governors. Likewise, so many non-academic activities are being administered and governed by the UGC and the central government. It is absolutely against the federal principles of the constitution. The state.
Yesterday also in Karnataka there was a meeting of all the education ministers and higher education ministers. There's been a memorandum which they have come out with saying that they oppose this amendments to the UGC, and you've seen leaders from different parties are coming together today in the DMK student wing protest against what the union government is doing. Yes, against the UGC regulations, because it's just not taking away state rights, it's taking away the rights of the students, and their futures are being taken away.
All right, so the opposition has alleged this is an attack on the culture, history and tradition of the states, and you're taking away the rights of the state. Is this an attempt to undermine the authority of the state governments? Let's open up the debate. Let's go across to our guests. We're joined by Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP Uttar Pradesh and also Chancellor of NIU. We have Dr. Gobardhan Das, Director IISER Bhopal. Salem Dharnidharan, spokesperson of the DMK, is joining us. Professor Tanveer Ejaz, columnist and academician, also joins us on the broadcast. Let me begin with you, Dr. Singh. The allegation of the states, those who have passed the resolution, their allegation is that this is nothing but imposing one idea and also an attack against the culture, history and tradition of the states. So you're basically undermining the authority of the governments.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would say look at the timing at which these allegations have been raised. They are laughable to say the least, and indeed pedestrian by nature. Why did you choose now to raise these allegations? These are serious allegations, but there is no merit in them. Had there been any merit, you should have chosen when these ordinances and with these regulations were at a contemplative stage, were on the drawing board. But now sweeping generalizations, wild allegations will not serve any purpose. These systems and procedures, appointment of vice chancellors, have been there for the last 75 years. Till now, nobody raised a finger, and every political outfit.
Dr. Singh, their argument is that the UGC must engage in a collaborative, consultative process with all the states while framing these regulations.
Absolutely. But if there is anything that they need to understand, I would say that till now it was just the chancellor, or repeat, governors of the state who were being targeted. Now, if the UGC to diversify and to get better domain experts and also somebody from the parent university like the Senate or the Executive Council, well, what is bad about it?
There's nothing absolute about it. You're calling it diversification. Let me invite a reaction from Mr. Dharnidharan on the same. Please go ahead.
I think the former speaker, I think, does not read and does not understand what DMK stand has been. Continuously, we've been against these kind of actions of the union BJP government. In fact, from the inception of the DMK party, that is 1949, we have stood for federalism. I'll tell you the reason why we are against the UGC move. Right? This is a travesty to democracy. Simply because who funds the universities in Tamil Nadu? The Tamil Nadu taxpayers. Right? So why did the modern democracy come into place in the UK? To see how taxes could be devolved and spent. That is the basis of democracy. So what I am saying is, the money of Tamil Nadu people will be determined by the Tamil Nadu government, Tamil Nadu assembly, which is elected by the Tamil Nadu people, on how it should be spent. When the governor will have more say on who the vice chancellor should be, these autonomously run universities will indirectly be run by governor, who is an appointee and not elected by people. There's a disconnect between people and the governor. This is travesty to democracy, not just federalism. This goes against the basis of democracy. See, if let's say, if we misappropriate funds, any ruling party like this.
Okay, I think we've lost that line with Mr. Dharnidharan. We'll get back to him. Dr. Gobardhan, meanwhile, let me quickly ask you this question about another allegation which the opposition calls is an attack on federalism. They're also saying that this is against the constitution. You're taking away the rights of the state. And Akhilesh Yadav has went on to say that, this is an attempt to hand over the universities to the industrialists now.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. I've been in my 25 years of teaching career, what I see is the NEP is the one of the best thing can happen ever. And that's because this is a very student friendly. Student can take some courses and pick and choose, and sometimes withdraw, sometimes you can transfer the credits, all kinds of things. So there is no doubt, in my opinion, being an academician, the NEP is the best thing can ever happen. Now coming to the vice chancellors and the appointment, etc. See, to maintain the quality of the national education, thus I think appointment of vice chancellor, for that matter, the academician should be to maintain some standard. See, in fact, I can tell you example. I should not talk about being an academician, but if you look at the state like West Bengal, every appointment has somewhere or is not unfair appointment, and the appointment is been given by all corruptions, etc. So therefore, I think center or the UGC should have some control on the appointment of vice chancellors or the bigger posts. Absolutely, I have no objection whatsoever. Being an academician, I am, in my opinion, the appointment of vice chancellors should be somewhere controlled.
All right, I know Dr. Singh, you want to come in, but I want to take a quick response from Professor Tanveer Ejaz on that. Professor Ejaz, please go ahead.
Can I come in?
I will come to you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you if the question is that who should appoint the vice chancellor and how vice chancellor should be appointed and what should be the quality of vice chancellor, now I think some important criteria must be laid down, right? Now, about the qualifications, about the, as a proven integrity and all those things. But the point is that, in these states, you understand that education is in the concurrent list, and education at the state level, if state education is being controlled by the governor, this new law by the UGC. By the way, UGC is a regulatory body. It's not a ministry, right? So a law which has come from UGC giving complete control to governor to appoint vice chancellor, which means that the vice chancellor would be appointed by the center, and therefore all the universities at the state level would automatically come to the control of the central government, and that perhaps is the gross violation of federalism, which is our basic structure of
You're
the
saying it's a gross violation of federalism. Very quickly, Mr. Dhanidharan, I have to wrap up. Last word to you.
Firstly and foremost, I understand the constraints of the director of IASCR because he represents a union government-funded national institute of importance. So I understand his constraint. But having said that, on what basis does he say that union government enforces quality? Tamil Nadu has the highest number of engineering colleges in top 100 ranking, 30 Tamil Nadu colleges. The Tamil Nadu has the highest number of state government-funded universities in top 100 engineering ranking, medical ranking. If Tamil Nadu's gross enrollment ratio is 50%, gross enrollment ratio of Pan India is 27%. So on that logic, right, then Tamil Nadu should manage the universities across, Tamil Nadu government should manage the state government universities across India, because we have, by metrics, we are far better than the rest of the country, right? By same logic, is saying the union government will appoint vice chancellor to ensure quality. So we have shown far superior quality than all the BJP rule state and the union government as such. So then give the colleges to us, we will run better. That's his logic, right? So I am saying, even if a state has not managed to run the state government universities well, basis of the democracy is that people of that state, right, shall determine how their money is spent. If at all they are not satisfied with the representative, they will change the representative. By saying that we will enforce that on elected government, one more regulatory opinion means that we don't trust the people's opinion, right? Right. So then you don't have democracy itself, which means to show that BJP does not believe in democracy.
Okay.
So openly.
You're saying this move shows that BJP does not believe in democracy. I'm completely out of time, gentlemen. Thank you very much. The opposition says this is nothing but a bit to undermine the state government's authority.